Good evening, everyone. It's Tuesday just after Christmas, Tuesday just a little bit before New Year. So I thought, why not do? I know these podcasts and broadcasts are going on everywhere about, how to look at our New Year's goals, right? So before I get started, again, I'm Tracy Cromwell. I'm certified certified integrative nutrition health coach. I like that, certified personal trainer, and anyway, former body loather, former yo-yo dieter, all those things. Anyway, I would like to welcome you to the broadcast. If you're not watching live on Facebook, but you're listening in on the podcast later, thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone on Facebook, for joining me today. And those on YouTube, thank you for watching as well. So, all right. So, almost New Year's. And again, I thought, why not do the broadcast? Say, all right, what can we do in the new year to achieve our goals? And as like I said, some of you know I was a yo-yo dieter, body loather. I had so much in my head that just stopped me from achieving goals. And those issues that were involved with me just trying to manage my weight, actually, because we're integrative people. As an integrative nutrition health coach, I'm looking at social life, relationships, finances, career, joy, all of those things as it's all incorporated. So if we have Tamara, yes, certificator. I love that name. Anyway, I'll never live that one down. Okay, so but anyway, where we sometimes have a mindset in one area that can derail us. Maybe we have a really good mindset in another area of our life that maybe we take some of that success, that prowess, that knowledge, we can actually apply it to other places in our life. So as being a certified integrative nutrition health coach, what I want to bring to you are just some ideas tonight on, depending on whatever your goal is, just things that have worked for me and work for others. And so let's get started. Yes, no matter what your goals are, we know that now, even though our brain would love it to be this way, it doesn't happen overnight. I wish I could eat a blueberry and then, I should be perfectly healthy tomorrow, right? That's just, where our brain's at. I want it now and I don't want to wait. So but taking those little steps every day towards a goal is what counts. And it's all those small wins, the tiny little wins every day that then help you make a big win later. One thing that helps me is I have some little mantras and sayings for especially when I'm having a rough day. So one of my goals is this year, I'm learning how to, rebuild my life, right? I have a whole different life, and I want to try and go into this new year with hope and love and like a vision of, gosh, I don't, everything's unknown now, and embrace that feeling. And so examples of a mantra that I actually have, hopefully this won't be too loud. I realize I don't have my big microphone on. I hope the microphone's okay. But this one, so I have these little notes around. And this one, just for me, is I am healing, I embrace life, I have purpose, and I can and will recover. And I have one on the door as I go, and I have one in the bathroom. And I realize this one doesn't say it, but also it would say, because Dave would want that for me, right? He would want me to do that. Another one that I have, and I took this from a man named Mark Devine. He heads up a group called Unbeatable Mind. But when the noise is happening in my head, and thanks, Tamara. Okay, when the noise is happening in my head, I can say this one too, is day by day in every way, I'm getting better and better. I got this. easy day. So those little things, for me, like when I know I want to get up at 5 in the morning, I've got things to do. And then when I maybe I feel a little sad or I'm just not motivated, I can grab onto the big vision of what I hope for my future and say a mantra of some kind. Okay. So that can really help. Um, finding one that works for you. If you have to borrow one, that's great. I've had to borrow some for sure, and why not? Um, but gosh, there um, a lot of religious Buddhists and Hindus use mantras in prayer, but you don't have to be. Um, uh, using it as a spiritual practice. But athletes use them. I use them, successful entrepreneurs use them, just inspire us from day to day. Okay. So um, finding one that your mind likes and it feels good for you is really helpful. So what you can do is to help with that to choose a mantra. You can, basically, like I said, you write it down, place it somewhere where you can see it. And if you have any good ones, I know I shared mine, but if you have a mantra, put it in the comments. That would be fun because maybe someone can borrow yours. That'll be really helpful to them if you put it in there. So, yeah, so depending on your goal, let's just say again, in my situation with the loss of my hubby, was one of my mantras now is I embrace the unknown and have a love for life. So I've had to really let go of thinking I know what's going to happen, what's going to happen. I really recommend this for anybody, any state in your life. You don't have to be coming from where I was, but releasing the known and being okay. Well, gosh, I know I'm going to work tomorrow. I know these things are happening, but maybe there's something unknown that will present itself to me. And it really relieves also the anxiety behind my goals, my anxiousness behind the goals, and just bringing forth that I have a love for life, right? So, whatever mantra you want to design that will make you feel, you know, um, empowered and open and just embracing the life that you have. So that can help a great deal. The next thing is really taking responsibility. Okay. And I know when when I was doing my yo-yo dieting, I didn't want to have to take responsibility. I just felt I should be able to read something and if it says I'm going to lose weight, it should just happen. And I had no concept of really the responsibility I was going to have to take. So, it can be really tough when I'm working with clients or I start a client. We do what's called a life radar, and I write about it in the book. Personal Journey with Food is doing an assessment of where my life was. And although I didn't want to see it, because that part of my brain's like, I don't want to take responsibility because obviously everything that's happened in my life is because of someone else, nothing I did. Or I'm eating the cookie because of someone else, So taking the responsibility and saying, well, I had to kind of suck it up. The only reason I was having a cookie or putting what else in my body was my choice. Okay. It wasn't anything else. It was my reaction to something outside of me. I control what's going on inside of me, right? And that can take a little bit to learn, but taking responsibility is, I can't state it enough. So for me, when I was trying to figure out how to move forward after Dave's death, I did have some nights that in days where I didn't know what I was going to do. And finally, my mind was like, I know I can't live in this state of mind anymore. Tracy, you've got to step up. You've got to take responsibility for learning how to think now and how to change the trajectory. I'm doing really funny trajectory of my thoughts. So I became very resourceful, which I'll talk about soon, on finding a way to help me change the patterns that were happening in my mind. And it's just so worth it. So taking the responsibility, um, for um, for how we respond to things in our lives so that we can move forward with the thoughts and processes that will support us versus will will hurt us or will hurt our bodies, and make ourselves even feel worse. So if you're going through a really tough time right now and something's very hard, I can't say it enough. Just decide now. You're going to take responsibility. You're going to go ahead and seek out a way to get help if you need that. If whatever that goal is that you have. So um, on the lighter side, if any goal, take responsibility for it. Okay. And one thing I love to think about too is, well, if I was someone that was successful in achieving the goal, how would I be living my life? Right. What things might I be doing every day? And just that type of breaking things down into smaller bites can help you achieve that bigger goal. Um, so next, I just want to read a quote from Marianne Williamson. She says, "Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. You playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you." I love that quote because we can have fear of failure, but there might be some kind of a trigger in your mind sometimes in a case where you have fear of success because your mind doesn't know, gosh, what's that going to look like? And our brain has tons of stories it's going to tell us. And I'll talk more about that soon. But wow, what if no one likes me if I lose weight? Well, what if I earn more money and then people think I'm, one of those people? It's got just, whatever it wants to say in there. So our brain wants to keep us safe and it will do whatever it can to stop us from possibly shining really bright, shining forward, living with purpose, because it's just paranoid. Okay. So I'll talk more about that too, and just letting those thoughts go by. Thanks for saying it. I hear you, but letting it go. Okay. And then stepping forward and embracing the unknown. So, who are you? These are some thoughts sometimes they'll come up. Who are you to be successful? Who am I to get what I want? Who am I to achieve my goals? Who am I to be proud of myself? Right. So sometimes it can say that stuff. But the great part is that if we can learn to take responsibility and then learn how to um, manage these thoughts and let them just go by, we can learn not to play small, right? And we can step forward and achieve our goals, whatever those could be. So, allow yourself to enjoy the feeling of getting there, your goal when you do, and celebrating every obstacle that you overcome, and every negative emotion with, like, hey, I got through it. And I think they've said too, it can seem like somebody's all of a sudden shows up and it looks like they were an overnight success. And because that's the part we may see. We may not have known who they were all the nights they showed up. They did the drudgerous work. Maybe it's an athlete for sure, Olympic athlete. They go every day when they don't want to get up. They go, and it's overcoming this mind that's just like, let's just stay in bed, So anyway, if you have a fear of failure, just kind of have a thought. Do you ever get thoughts of like, gosh, I'm a little afraid of, you know, because I don't know what it's like to live in this future, goal, right? So just relieving that outcome, just letting it go, relieving the unknown, embracing the unknown, and stepping forward anyway. And eventually your brain will be like, oh, so we were okay, because it's like, I don't think I'm the only one with a brain this way. Anyway, so trust me, it is worth it. There's, like I said, there's going to be obstacles to your goal. Just know they're going to come, and don't be afraid of them. They just are an obstacle, and then you get stronger and more resilient as you learn to work through them. See them and let the emotion of them go by. And then, don't cling to the emotion, just let it go by, you know, and let that, fear of, success or failure just go by. Okay. So the other thing that's helpful is, telling someone what your goal is. So somebody that, say you had a day, you're like, oh, you guys, I don't feel like going to the gym, just talk it out. And, your accountability person will say, hey, what was your goal? What did you want? Or maybe it's saving money. You really want to go buy a shirt, call your person, you know, and have them help you to reset your mind, as to what your overall goal was. So, and then say it out loud too. That's kind of fun. Um, yeah, but the simple act of just telling someone um, what it is can encourage you to continue. All right. When you're tempted to quit, which is going to happen, I promise you, you'll be tempted. So, yeah. So, being, say you made a promise to somebody, um, that you loved and you backed out on them. And how does that make you feel, right? You made a really big promise. Hey, whatever that is, you're the same. Okay. So if you're making a promise to yourself that you're going to do something, treat it the same. You deserve that, same type of accountability, So next, there are no quick fixes. So be great if there was, right? So, a key element of those who achieve better and more sustainable results is commitment. Once the decision has been made, just go for it. I notice sometimes when I vacillate, oh, I want to do this. And I'm like, oh, maybe not. And then my brain wastes so much effort. It's like, well, what do you want? So once you've decided, just go. Okay. Go for it. Do it. That way you don't waste that mental energy. You can then use that energy for overcoming the obstacles you might find or being more resourceful, more energy for doing the activity, right? So by making that decision, um, so dedication and that ongoing desire to succeed. Um, there's I don't know if all of you have heard it, but they used to say 21 days to implement a habit. They're now realizing it's about 61 to 66 days of repetitiveness. And then being ready, which I'll talk about later for when the brain decides, it's been 3 weeks and, I'm not really seeing the results. So let's just stop, so we'll talk about that too. Um, so, a really good exercise too for you when you're making your goals would be what is it? Why do you want to achieve it? And when do you want to achieve it? Okay. So it just helps to clarify things. If you can get your subconscious mind knowing where it's supposed to go, because it's driving you without you realizing it, you can get that embedded in there. So your body goes where it needs to go and you get up and do what you need to do without much effort. You got to be a bit clear. Oh, I love that, Angie. Yes, vision board, absolutely. So getting clear on what it is you want, and so what is your goal? Why you want to achieve your goal, and then when you aim to do so. Okay, and this is a good exercise too. Most people have heard of SMART goals. So again, it's just, but this is a more brief one. But again, once you do this exercise and you start tracking back, well, what do I probably need to do to get there? Is that goal timeline, one that you can absolutely, feel confident you get done. Okay. And you might have to, you might miss it by a little bit, but you want to make it a goal where, okay, I want to, let's see, we'll just use weight again. I want to lose 20 pounds in 15 days. You know, that one is probably not a good timeline and you're just gonna get frustrated. So just being really honest with a timeline. Um, so this example, so maybe it's a position or a job. So you want to get a promotion, save money, and travel in January next year. Okay. So you wanted a promotion, save money, and travel in January next year. And then you can break it down to more specifics. Or there's the lose weight. You know, I want to lose weight because I want to have more energy. And then I want to take my daughter skiing next winter. So those kind of things. And but yeah, if you have a goal, it'd be fun to hear what yours are for the year. So if you feel up to it, you can put it in the comments. Uh, so next, and I mentioned this earlier too, is being utilizing resources available to you and being resourceful. So you're already listening. If you're watching live, this is a resource for you, right? So you're already taking that step. But there's so many great resources out there available to you, online, um, books, all those kinds of things, amazing coaches out there. So, you know, be resourceful and look for resources to help you with your goal. Okay. And, so if you live close to a gym and you want to, oh, yes, getting healthy. Awesome, Angie. Yep. Excellent goal. And you time. Love it. So, just seek them out. So you not only, again, you want to manifest, you want to seek out a way to achieve your goal. And one way that's helped me was, again, what would someone that already achieved what I would like to achieve be doing? What would their lifestyle be like? um, probably what experts might they have in their life to help them do that kind of a thing. And you also, this is something else, and why it's great to have other resources involved or coaches. Not only do we have to mentally get our brain on board and work with our brain on board, it really, once the brain's on board, we got to get our body wherever it needs to go to achieve that, even when it doesn't want to go. Okay, so sometimes goals and achieving goals have the boring and monotonous side of them, but we still got to get that body up and we got to move it to where it needs to go for you to achieve the goal. So just, being resourceful, and brainstorm. Gosh, how can I? What am I not utilizing that maybe could help me? So next, there's a strategy I just brought up too about it can be mundane, can be boring, behind the scenes, work and effort that people put in that might seem like it was overnight success for some of us because we just didn't see all of that. So helping to keep it fresh. So getting some strategies in there where you're not taking the focus off and you're not expecting to have joy and, oh, it should be easy every day, but have some ways in there to keep it fresh. So if you are working on getting more fit, and you start getting a little bit bored with your exercise regimen or whatever, feel free to change it up and try something a little different. You don't have to be locked into a specific food wise. If you start getting bored because you're just eating the same thing every day, sometimes that's good in a while to just kind of get the habit, but feel free, try different things. Maybe you want to save money. What different ways can you make games to save more money, to make it more fun, or a different reward for not doing the emotional spending, but instead, have a resource or have a strategy to keep it fresh so it helps you, um, you know, maintain your goal. Um, and but again, be prepared for the mundane. I'm not going to lie to you. You just got to get up, and it's just, the days you don't want to get up, get up, get moving, get that body where it needs to go to help you succeed. With that is planning. So, looking at, well, what is it that I would like to achieve? And then have a strategy. You say, hey, it's in 6 months. I'd like to achieve this goal. You can back up, a little bit and make a plan. And then do some weekly check-ins is this working? Is this strategy I have working? Oh, I messed up that day. Okay, no big deal. Am I totally failing at this one strategy? Should I make an option for it? Maybe this strategy doesn't fit into my lifestyle. I thought I could do it, but I just got to make a tweak, versus just giving up on it. Do a tweak. Okay. So that's when you have a strategy and you review it once a week, then you can see how it's going and then make adjustments. So no goal can happen without adjustments. Okay. It's learning a new skill, tweaking, a little bit of modification. Uh, yeah, it didn't work. Okay. We figured that out. Excellent. Okay. Try this. Great. This fits in fine. So that's where that planning and having fun planning um, will be really helpful. Um, and again, when you plan, you're going to do it with, taking into account of your work schedule, social engagements, responsibilities, commitments outside of your personal goals. It's important to look at that. I can go like, oh, I want to do this every day. And I get all excited. And then I do that back step planning. I was like, okay, well, I got to be a little more, you know, I will fail if I make this goal this way. I need to implement it so I have success. Okay. So, as again, integrative nutrition health coach, we look at every aspect of your life and start to make adjustments. Okay. Which can be a lot of fun. So, um, yeah. So, oh, that's the other thing. So, what's great when you do this planning is that if something is hindering your progress by planning, you can see it, right? And then you can make a change. So, a bit of a little thing I can tell you about. So, as a coach, I do specialize in that. And I don't know if everyone knows this, but I do offer a 50-minute complimentary um, it's time to take care of me session. There's no obligation, but you have opportunity to talk to me for 50 minutes about what it is you would like to do. So you can go to tracycrommel.com and there's a link there to schedule that appointment. Or I can go ahead and I will send, I'll put it in the comments after the show, my link to my calendar. But it's a resource for you that you could use. Okay. So, here's a good one too. And we talked about the time frame of what to expect in achieving a goal. Is they're finding that week three can be when the brain starts saying, I don't want to do this anymore. I think it's okay if we just don't do this today. It gets a little harder again because the brain's all excited at first, and then it's like, I just would rather go back to what we were doing before. So pushing through the third week, like Wednesday, we joke about Wednesdays, it's midweek. Can we just get through hump day? Week 3 is sort of you're heading into that time frame. And if you expect it, you can prepare, right? And say, oh, here it is. Tracy told me this was coming. So you're like, okay, I get you, mind. I get you, And there's a great quote. So even if you don't practice yoga, this quote's really great when you're reluctant to do and continue, and or you have waning energy towards it. The quote is, "The yoga pose begins when you want to leave it." Okay, and I love that because that's when you really begin on any new goal. Is when you want to quit. All right, it's pushing through that phase. So if you expect it to come, have a strategy in place that can get you through that third week, and then you keep going. I have a calendar actually because I have some goals, and I actually printed it. I just printed it from the computer, and I blanked out all my other calendars. And all it is 66 days. And every day I do what it is I promise myself, I put a little heart or something. It's a little celebration, like, yeah, I did it. If I don't do it, I know I got to do like an X. And I've kind of got to almost start over. So I don't want to do that. Right. So it's a fun game for me. So that might work for you. Get just a calendar. And then you'll also see the third week coming. You're like, I'm ready for you. I'm ready for you, brain, for when you want to tell me to stop. So, yeah. So every time you overcome thoughts, like wanting to quit, things like that, you gain strength, for the next goal, the next thing you might be wanting to overcome. Okay. So anyway, I think I already talked about this is that, yeah, your brain's going to want you to quit. It's going to. And it's going to tell you lots of stories and just expect it. And your job is to say, hey, brain, we're going to get my body over here because that's where we planned. That's the other good thing. Put it on your calendar, schedule things out. I said I was be at my desk. I was going to be doing this at this time. Or I said I was going to be over here. I was going to be at the gym working out. You just got to get your body over where you need it to go to help you get your goal set up and on a move. Talking about that review is being honest with yourself. So again, I hated that. I did not want to look at the reality of when I did sort of a circle of life when I was trying to change my lifestyle habits. It hurt. Oh, my ego got so bruised, because it doesn't want to look at that. But it was the best thing I could have done because I could see where my life was with the decisions I was making. So being honest, because, basically the person, the one responsible for your goals is you, right? And so again, we can trick ourselves into believing we're doing things that will progress us forward, but maybe we're doing busy work that's really not helping us progress forward. Just be really aware and very honest with yourself about whatever area you're seeking to improve, and doing that weekly review I mentioned. And it's just to investigate. You want to see behavior, you want to see what works, what doesn't. Hey, I had this intention, but really I'm just not able to get the time. So maybe I said I was going to work out an hour and a half a day. Maybe I got to go 45 minutes. Okay, so do it to that level so you can be successful. 45 minutes, even 30 minutes of exercise a day is better than nothing. All right. Your body can still improve with that. Okay. Yeah. So you're responsible for that. You're responsible for you getting your goals achieved. We can, and I'm speaking to myself, I can want to blame everybody else. I ate that cookie because so and so made me upset. Or I didn't go to the gym because so and so made me upset. You chose not to go. You chose to eat. I chose to go shopping and overspend my credit card because I needed retail therapy. So if your goal was to save money, you're the one who chose to get your body to the store. So it's that harsh, tough love I'm giving, which I always promise some tough love about what we're doing and what we're allowing our body to move to go to the kitchen, to do all those things. It's our choice. Once you're aware is what's so cool. Once you see it happening, you're like, whoa, I'm onto you, brain. So yeah. So it's that subconscious driving old programming. Okay. So once you see it, that's why writing things down, being honest with yourself, with no judgment. One thing I had to quit doing was whipping myself with a whip when I made a mistake or when I had a thought that I thought was, why am I still thinking these thoughts? Why am I still wanting to go? Why is my brain still telling me I want to go and buy candy? It's just a dialogue in there. So, but I can learn from it without feeling like I have to beat myself up. All right. So write things down, clarify things. You can journal, clarify what your goal looks like, your intention. All this helps with that motivation. And that's what I do when I start working with clients. The first things we do is we figure out what the goals are, what the intentions are. We get a good picture, and then we strategize. We're going to go back to now. What if you struggle? We'll think about that week 3 again, right? So you're going to face time when the goal just seems unachievable. And it could be your perception, what lenses you're looking through. So are you feeling Are you looking through with a lens of fear? Um, Looking through with just, sadness, whatever it could be. Um, so it could be just perception, or it could be actual circumstances, which I mentioned when things just happen, right? And we need to make tweaks and modify. So this is when it's really important to test your vigilance for your steadfastness of what your goal is and how important that goal really is to you. And so these are things that have helped me in the past and I still use. Make an immediate to do list. So, what can I do right now to ease the struggle? And that part of your brain can probably say, nothing. There's nothing I can do. And you say, well, what if there was something we could do? What if there's a possibility? And let that brainstorm happen of being positive. Um, do your best to not compare yourself or waste time um, on a day like this where you maybe go on social media and start comparing yourself to other people and you don't know what their life is really behind the scenes. Social media is like all perfect and all this and that. So when you're having a day that you're feeling down, I encourage you to actually to do another step I'm coming up with soon. But yeah, so do not compare yourself. Remember that what you're grateful for. So applaud yourself for how far you've come, on how far, not on how far there's still to go, but what have you done already? Today, present. Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to come anyway. So there's no use in getting anxiety for tomorrow, right? What can you do today? Be grateful. Grateful that you have an opportunity to make a choice. Okay. And do something that makes you happy. So maybe you need to carve out a time, turn on some great music, go ahead, call a friend, not to be, uh, uh, I'm going to say it, a bitch session. Maybe call a friend just to, say, hey, this is going on, just wanted to chat it out. But make sure it's a positive thing for you. Let's see. Dance, be silly. Like sometimes I'll crank the music and I'll just dance around, get, back to the bit of that lighthearted aspect. And then just remember what your goal was, right? Move your body. Honestly, getting that body moving helps that the endorphins, gets the blood flow going. Not fitness oriented, you can just dance around, go for a walk, just get your body moving. And again, no shame in whipping, no rude talking from that brain. Okay. And again, remember we're taking small steps. Okay. So back to if you're feeling down, or even just if you're not, this helps me too. I get my motivational music or my audiobooks or podcasts that help me with my mindset so that I can learn how to rewire some of the processes that the way it was wired. Again, I've told you I high anxiety, um, horrible view of myself, body shame, yo-yo dieter. Okay. All those things. I was wired. My mind was just wired for that. And so getting good stuff in to help your brain process in a more supportive way, a more cohesive way. So you don't feel this anxiousness, right here, but you feel more open, right? So absolutely. Create yourself really great list of books and things like that. I think we're getting there. Okay, got still some more. I just wanted to power pack this for you. Environmental factors. So again, we've got the audios, all those things, but setting yourself up, your environment up for success. So basically, if you live in a really, really, really cluttered environment, that can make it hard for your mind to process. It can feel weighed down. Okay, so can you change your environment? Simplify, get rid of clothes you don't wear. Um, I'm in the process of doing a lot of that now. My whole life is different. So doing making hard choices right now and trying to revise my environment. And It's not easy, for me in my case, but I notice that once I make a choice and I move forward with it, I feel better. I have more clarity, downsizing my life, right? So, um, uh, going ahead, your environment, for diet and exercise, how can you um, have supportive foods in your refrigerator? How can you have supportive videos lined up for exercise if you don't want to go to the gym? Can you get some weights into your house? So how can you get an environment set up to support your goal? And um, even looking at relationships, all those kinds of things that you might need to make adjustments on, have conversations with people to make things more cohesive. Okay. So, anyway, go ahead and think about it. Is there anything environmentally holding you back from achieving your goal? And go ahead and brainstorm that. And you can just sort of start picking a few things at a time in small increments to help creating the environment that you need to be successful. Okay. Um, and this one really helps me. And at first I thought it was I was like, I don't want to do this, but I'm learning that it actually helps because the brain is our ally in this, and is also our derailer. Okay. So when you want to set a new goal, um, the brain's got to get on board. The great part is that sometimes the brain doesn't know if something's happened or really happened or not. You know how it can drone up anxiety and all these things that could go wrong or whatever. Well, it's also capable of visualizing success, creating a movie of your success. So, visualizing yourself, taking a moment just to get quiet, close your eyes and say, see, what would I feel like? um, what how can I see myself doing this? And I realized that I didn't realize I was doing that a lot even when I was younger. Um, and then I didn't realize the power of it. But just when I wanted something, or I wanted to achieve something, I would go to bed and I would just see myself doing it. It's the same thing, like get that little bit of childish, imagination back. See yourself doing it. And then imagine what would it feel like if it happened, if it was happening right now. Because the body will start to feel that. And the brain will be like, that's a pretty awesome feeling, you know, and it can look forward in an aspect of, because emotion's important. And it's important to bring emotion to your goals. And then again, getting the brain to buy in. So that can be with anything, so your career, see yourself in the career that you would love. See yourself doing physically the things that you would love to be able to do. Visualize yourself, if it's you want to eat better or whatever. See yourself in your kitchen making food that's great, and your brain will start making that a priority. Okay. Um, so that's been very helpful. And so, um, so with that, then, and back to our um, documenting, I'm going to talk specific about diet and fitness because that's usually a big thing this time of year. So I wanted to include one comment about that for sure. So with anything you do, but again, if your diet and fitness is what you're looking at, awareness is critical. Mindfulness is critical when it comes to health related goals because everyone's different. So when I work with people, I don't put them on a specific diet before I even talk to them. Everyone's body is different, everyone's needs are different, their lifestyles are different. So being aware of what your situation is, being aware of how food makes you feel, all of that stuff is really, really important. So just being aware. So understand, again, it's got to be tailored to you. All right. So there's no point comparing, or contrasting to anyone else or blindly following online advice without, personalizing it to your needs. Okay. So don't stress about having to fit into a box. None of us fit in a box. And that was one reason I yo-yo dieted so much was I thought I should fit in this box. And then I thought there was something wrong with me and my body was stupid because it didn't work. Right. And now that I eat specific to me, it's great, and I still have treats and I still can have fun, but it's getting that mindset. So if you think you're going to fit into a box, just toss that out the door. You're not a cookie cutter. Okay. So, and that would be another reason you could take me up on that 50-minute session, um, uh, just to get talking about that kind of stuff. I think I'm on my last one. Yep. Enjoy the journey. It's gonna be a challenge, but enjoy each day of the journey, what you're gonna learn, and embrace those. Have those small celebrations. Celebrate when you conquer. Take the failure day as a learning experience versus a reason to devalue yourself and call yourself awful names. That part of the mind just can go on. You don't need that. So when things happen that derail you, just reset. Look, what was your intention? Go back to that mantra. Um, Look at maybe what derailed you, so that next time you can say, "Oh shoot, I just didn't see it coming." All right, next time, I gotcha. Okay, so the brain is so powerful, and it can just be your biggest ally, and just learning to get it to understand the plan is important. One that helped me out a lot, a mantra I had, and I learned it from Harbecker. And it was basically, if mantras like saying that you are powerful, or you say that you're already something, and the brain's like, no, I'm not stupid. I know you're not, right? You know, if if saying that, I am a healthy 56-year-old and I can do this and this and this, if the brain kicks back at you, no problem. This is a really good one. Um, so um, I know I haven't done this yet, but I would like the experience of living that way right now. Okay, so I know I may not have achieved this yet, but I would like to have the experience of living this right now. At least for me, it worked, because then my mind was like, oh, yeah, I think I can go with that. I know we're not there yet, but yeah, we could try the experience right now. And so it's just kind of fun. I love figuring this kind of stuff out. So anyway, just know there's going to be, surface emotions that are going to happen. Great days, agitating days. You know, you just know it's a learning experience, and know that these goals that you would want to achieve, they're not just going to impact you, they're going to have positive effects on the people around you. So it's like the ripple effect. So as you start to create the life, or create, success in a goal, people will feel it. You'll start emulating a different energy, right? So it's really exciting. And then I found with nutrition, once I started to have the courage to move forward and take better care of myself, it rippled through my family. So it's really exciting. So anything you do can actually have a great positive impact on others. So, okay, everyone, I am done for tonight. I know I went, 48 minutes of like compact information, but you're just getting started, and that can be exciting, and maybe just having that new set of eyes and some belief in the unknown, and just courageously taking the steps every day, letting, you have your goal, but letting go of the outcome. Right? You have your goal, you do the things that you need to do, and it's there's the results will happen. They may happen a little bit a different timeline than you think, but they can happen. Okay. So yeah, if you have any questions, or you want to, get some insights, feel free to direct message me anytime. I'm going to also give you my email. So it's tracy@tracycromwell.com. All right. You can message me. And then again, it's a perfect time to take advantage of that session with me. And then lastly, I can't believe I forgot to say it. I'll be launching, it's on January 12th, a junk food and sugar debunk challenge. It's 30 days. There'll be daily lessons, maybe 5 to 6 minutes long, so nothing major. And then 4 live group coaching calls with me. And it's only $99, you guys. So if you would like a kickstart on that junk food and sugar um, debunk challenge, to help get that stuff a little bit more out of your lifestyle, it'll be fun. I've had great success in the past doing it. I've done it as a 7-day and a 7-week. 7 days seemed a little too short. 7 weeks was a little long. So I think 30 days will be perfect. So definitely reach out if you want more information on that. And, Happy New Year, everyone. And I'm just so grateful for everyone, out there on my Facebook family group, the support you've given me these last 7 months with the loss of Dave. Just incredible. And it just helped me get through this so much easier. And my hope is I just really want to be able to give support to anyone that would like some, just feel free to reach out. I'm here, and I'm wishing you the most wonderful new year. And I will see you on my next broadcast. Okay. All right. Have a great night, everyone. I'll talk to you soon. See you in the new year. Okay. Bye.